Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're breaking down the dividend portfolio. We're going to look at the sectors that I still think are the most undervalued in the market, and we're going to analyze Bitcoin, gold, and all the other interesting stuff going on in today's Monday market recap. Let's get right into it. Welcome back, passive income investors, to Monday Market Open, where we're analyzing this stock portfolio. Here we got the tax-free savings account along with the regular investment account. And the regular investment account's down $800 from the beginning of the year. This thing was soaring and doing incredibly compared to my tax-free savings account. But now it looks like the $6,000 gain I have in this beauty is the one pulling the whole entire portfolio ahead. And as we can see, we'll typically analyze some of the stocks before we start breaking down all the other news going on in the market. But really quickly, we're taking a look at Apple, which is still trying to push the $200 mark. The tech industry is still doing really well. I looked at Facebook's up. It looks like it's pushing the $200 mark today. Microsoft, we can see here, guys, is still holding up on those all-time highs. It looks like we're going to cross 138 today, even with the conversion rate on the Canadian dollar hurting my account the most. I'm still doing pretty good overall. It's not terrible considering a lot of these positions drip huge. It looks like Northland Power is still pushing up. It looks like this one keeps going higher and higher, and luckily that one's in Canadian dollars. It would still be nice to see a bit of a pullback on SO here so I can buy some more shares of that. And GEO Group's actually been under pressure. I was actually in the green in this stock last week, and then all of a sudden some news came out. They want to get rid of privatized prisons, specifically having to do with all of these immigrants illegally coming across the borders. Like, there's so much drama going on in the political world. I'm surprised this isn't down more. And I actually lost a subscriber because for some reason he thinks I'm actually political in my investment decisions. And I'm not actually political. They're just stocks that I like. And unfortunately, I told myself I wasn't going to buy stocks that had any kind of really political relevance after Hydro One. Hydro One went through a lot of drama with the government. Didn't want anything to do with it. It's kind of similar to SNC-Lavalin, another company which I think I'm going to show you right now. So if you don't know what SNC-Lavalin is, guys, it's this company here that has been going through the ringer and back because they have been involved with a lot of corruption with the government and basically bribing foreign, relations, essentially foreign governments that they were trying to get deals with overseas. So SNC-Lavalin's been on the big decline. I don't know what is going on with my internet right now, but my goodness, why is it so slow? I usually have bomb internet, and today it's like, no, we're going to lag because you're making a video. And of course, when you're making a video, we're going to make a lag. Not that I know why. But anyways, SNC-Lavalin, you can look this company up, guys. It's a utility company, and it has been on the decline because of the corruption going on with Canadian government. So I try and stay away from any company specifically involved with the government. There we go. We can see that this stock has been on a wicked decline since that horrible news, down 50%. I don't want anything to do with political engagement. Unfortunately, the prison stocks do have political engagement, but it's like a necessary evil with those guys. And it's like a necessary evil for the government, and I just don't see them doing away with privatized prisons ever. So it's just a neat thing. So even with the political news around this company, it's still on the upside in my opinion. I'm surprised it's not down more. I would like to see it under 20 because it's a wonderful buy. Under 20, it pays a really healthy 8% dividend. We'll get into that in a sec. But let's go take a look at the other account here where we have MO, British American Tobacco, BMO, STZ, and Constellation Brands, which is the STZ, and then we got Tesla, of course, as well. And we're looking at MO and BTI because I think STZ as well. I think the drug sector has been really pushed into a junk folder. Literally, if you take a look at, I noticed PPC Ian was talking about this in his last video. He was saying, for some reason, these are companies that survived, like, I think it was in the 90s, might be late 80s or something, where the government tried to basically shut them down, and they ended up paying huge fines, and they still pay those fines and those regulatory taxes today, you could say. But it was nice that PPC and just kind of mentioned that the entire market puts it into a junk folder, even though you're going to notice that the fundamentals of these companies have never really changed. With the drug stocks, they're actually still making roughly the same income. Nothing's really changed that much. And a lot of the market's woes, in my opinion, have been priced in, like the fact that they want to get rid of menthols, which really affects BTI, or that they want to get rid of, they want to start like monetizing and controlling like the vape markets with MO, with Juul. When he was saying they don't talk about the upsides ever, like the fact that they have Cron and they have one of the biggest distribution systems. The same thing with Constellation Brands owning a big chunk of Canopy Growth Corp. They have like such a broad distribution network when it comes to their packaging of their drinks. If you don't know, Constellation Brands makes wines, spirits, things like Modelo beers, Corona. And now they want to start trying to find a way to get into marijuana. And I think these two companies are poised better than almost any company when it comes to being able to mass scale production of sales of marijuana once it becomes federally legal in the States. And I guarantee you that what's going to happen with MO is the same thing that happened with Canopy when marijuana became legal in Canada, is you're going to see a mass explosion of these companies across the states. It might be within the next 2 to 3 years, is my guess, when they'll actually federally legalize marijuana. And I think these companies are poised to be in the best position for all of that. But it's slow and steady, guys. You got to be patient. This stuff is like a 5-10 year game if you want to see any real gains out of it. But in the meantime, MO and BTI pay out massive dividend yields, which is why they're the main focus of my entire year of a dividend investing. I'd like to be focusing a little bit more on Tesla, but it's just the fact that Tesla doesn't pay a dividend, it's only growth. I don't want to spend my year focusing on non-dividend stocks, but I'll try and pick a few more shares up at that at some point. So going through the rest of the account, we can take a quick peek at the dividends. My dividend payout is actually down $50 because, like I said, of the dollar has been up slightly. I think I was saying that I was making like $399 a month, and now I'm making like $398. I'm right around $4,758, I think, instead of $4,789, I think is where I was before the dollar crash. We're only down like, $30 to $50 range-ish. But we can still see that the month of July is going to be the best month in this account here, where BTI and MO are paying out the massive percentages that they are, 7.5 and 6.5 almost. The month of July is going to be paying me out roughly, give or take, $109. And in the other tax-free savings account, all tax-free money, baby, we're going to be getting $839 for a whopping $600 and almost $50 gain. Not terrible for the month of July. So I'm really looking forward to next month. But moving into some of the news and what is going on in the markets for Monday, guys? I love Edward Jones. I sign up to a lot of different emailing lists. I've mentioned this in the past. You guys should do this as well. It's fun seeing all these different professional advisors give their opinions. And today we got Canadian and U.S. stocks finish higher for the third straight week, with the S&P 500 and Dow closing at fresh record highs. The main catalyst for the rally, and actually we can see this here when we check out like even the Vanguard 500 index. If you own these basic index funds, you're going to be doing pretty well, considering if you were buying at the beginning of the year in these dips, you'd probably be pretty happy with your overall rate of return sitting at, what are we sitting at here, right around 26%. Can you believe that? Anything you bought at the beginning of the year, you'd be up 26% on. Anyways, the main catalyst for the rally in both bonds and stocks was Federal Reserve Fed signaling, I think it was Jake Powell or whatever his name is, Jay Powell, it openness to rate cuts this year. The committee removed a previous statement about being patient in setting rates, which implied holding rates steady for some time, which I mentioned this in a couple videos ago when he talked that they weren't going to be raising interest rates. They actually enjoy the growth, and they want to see the growth continue because it helps new investors along with continuing just helping the overall economy, which was the big news, right? And that kind of shoved away all the bad news with basically the oil tankers blowing up. Oil's been on a bit of a tangent lately. Actually, let's take a quick peek at the oil barrel chart. My internet's been really weird lately. So we'll see if I can get this to load. But while this loads, because I will take a look at gold real quick. But the reason that I just want to look at oil is because oil has been under some what I would call manipulation tactics. And Trump actually, they hacked some of the nuclear programs, or the nuclear software on the computers that run the nuclear launch sites, and they actually hacked them and shut them down, which is really weird. But let's just take a quick peek at this. And this all has to do with them blowing up those oil boats, and I think they're actually trying to manipulate oil to keep the prices up, because Iran and all these other countries, the Middle Eastern countries, are mainly oil run. They're like oil baron countries, right? So we'll see if we can get that to load, and let's take a quick peek at gold. A lot of talk about Russia and China really stockpiling gold right now, which is kind of leading people into thinking gold might be on a new run. But honestly, it would be the first run that's happened in just about 7 or 8 years. Gold is kind of one of the most annoying assets. I used to own a ton of it. I always mention this. I just can't stand it anymore, guys. I completely sold off all my precious metals. If you own gold or silver, you're still not doing that well overall, except on the conversion if you own it out of country. If you're out of the country and you've been buying it. You've been doing quite well. And man, oh man, oh man, my internet is having a stroke right now. So I don't think I'm going to get too much farther on this discussion. I'm sorry about this, guys. I honestly don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to go and throw my mouse at my computer screen because this never happens. And I pay a lot of money for this internet not to be working for these videos. I'm going to get frustrated now. I'll get rid of GEO Group here. We still have this stuff open. Yeah, I wish this would load so I could show you guys what exactly is going on here, but it doesn't look like that's going to be a capability at the moment. But you can go check out oil. It's been on a rally. You can just trust me on that, guys, and that has to do with a lot of those problems. But it's funny and neat to see that with all this talk about nuclear and oil explosion on tankers in the oceans and things like that, the markets still continue to push these all-time highs, and people are just kind of shying away from bad news lately in the markets. And the only other thing I wanted to talk about the most, I can't forget to talk about this though, guys. The Bitcoin. I think this really exemplifies what is going on with Bitcoin right now. This beautiful meme right here. Because if we scroll up, we just take a look at some of the news. I can't even get the chart to load, actually. I was in my forum earlier here, and I couldn't get the Bitcoin chart to load because I think it's just glitchy with the amount of news going on. So if you've never been burnt before, you're about to feel the wrath. A lot of people are negative around Bitcoin right now. But the people that are bullish still think it's going to go to some ridiculous heights. And I'm not going to give any opinions here right now. You know my opinion. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin. I never have. I know PPC and the guy I was just talking about actually made money trading Bitcoin. I know a lot of people that have actually made money trading this. I just don't know anyone that makes money holding this because to try and get into it today. If you bought the 3,000 dip, chances are you're selling out right now to another crazy buyer. And I think what we have here is a cyclical cycle of what is usually called a dead cat bounce, which I think is just extending a lot longer. And I'll never get this chart to load. As we can see, it's looking at the SPY, which is another ETF that I was looking at. And I don't think this is actually my internet related, even though I still can't get this oil page. Oh, it looks like the oil page is slightly loaded. But it's not going to show us the BTI charts or the crude charts yet. See the Bitcoin price, guys, is sitting around 10,916, just about to cross that 11,000 mark. And again, I just think this has to do with this hype. I think it's all hype related. I don't think it's going to go to 20,000 again. I could be wrong. Don't get me wrong. Could always be wrong. But I think this is just a cyclical cycle coming back around. So Bitcoin had its hype and its run, and it's having another one, and a lot of people are getting hyped about it again. But you're going to get the cyclical traders because this doesn't have an underlying value. What it has is a trading value, which means people are constantly buying and selling it. And so long as there's more buyers than there are sellers, it's going to do well. But there's only more buyers and sellers because it's running. So what's going to happen here is we're going to see a catch up, which essentially means that all these people that are hyped about it, that are buying into it to catch these quick peaks, eventually we're going to cross the line where there's going to be more sellers than buyers. We're going to see Bitcoin on the decline again, and I think you're going to see it happen very fast and very quickly like it did the first time. Well, not the first time. Bitcoin's known for its volatility, but I don't expect these prices to hold up. I could be wrong. We all could be wrong. I could be wrong. We all could be wrong about some things. You can let me know if you like Bitcoin. Definitely slap a dislike on this video. I'd have nothing against it. I'm just not a fan. But if you're playing the trading cycle here, guys, good for you. If you made some money on this, I give you a good salute, sir. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember always to hit a like and help my channel out as it continues to grow. Thanks so much to the 420 subs. Man, it's really starting to explode quickly here, guys. I'm sorry, a lot of you yesterday I told you I'd be showing you some marketing that I'm doing for my real show. I'm a full-time magician, and I'm going to be doing a really big show, and I'm doing some marketing for it, and I really wanted to show you guys some videos, but I want to show you the exact finished products. I slept in today, guys. Can you blame me? I worked hard yesterday. I got a lot going on today, and I'm getting ready for work actually as soon as I'm done making this video. So stick around, guys. I got a lot looking forward for tomorrow to show you, but I hope you enjoyed this really quick breakdown as the markets continue to stay in a flat kind of zone, barely touching all-time highs. But stay cool, guys. Stay awesome. I look forward to chatting to you real soon.